What is up, family? My name is Erin McCluskey, and I'm a mindset and performance coach. And welcome to Mini Bytes session 29, Clearing the Heart. Shout out to my San Diego family for this awesome hat I was given as a gift during this past week when I was out in San Diego. Clearing the heart through the clearing of some physical space. In order to clear space and allow me to step into this new chapter and this new season of my life that seems to be unfolding very powerfully and quickly, but not too fast. So today we're going to talk about clearing the heart and clearing space, physically, mentally, emotionally, and why that's important. And before I do that, I just want to say it's really good to be back on video. I'm setting the intention that I do these a little more consistently. It's been about 2 months since I did my last video, and I began these in September, and I really enjoy them. And I know that some of you guys and gals out there do as well. So I really appreciate you watching, also subscribing to my YouTube channel. And I have a website now, which I'm really stoked about. It is www.erinjewelcoaching.com. Massive mental block in getting that set up. And my friend Teddy Hodges was kind enough to help me through that. And so I was able to get that set up. So please check that out. www.erinjewel, coaching, all one word.com. And if you have any questions, you can contact me through the website about my program or anything on today's content, or you can go to my YouTube channel and just do a search for Erin McCluskey. So clearing the space. Why is it important for us to clear space? So sometimes, we feel a call to, let's say, do a little cleaning. Tomorrow's the first day of spring, or maybe it's today. But here we are arriving in warmer temperatures in Philadelphia and in other parts of the country, entering into that springtime, that time of newness and creation and warmth and growth and birth. And so it's always a nice time to do some reorganizing, or maybe we want to clear out the closets. Maybe we're binge watching episodes of Tidying Up to see how to do that properly. But why is it important for us to do that? So let's take the example of a closet with clothes. And, you've got a closet filled with all these clothes and all these shoes, and some of the clothes you wear and some of the shoes you wear and some of the clothes you haven't worn in a long time and some of the shoes you haven't worn in a long time. And, some people say, oh, if you haven't worn it in like 6 months, it's probably a good time to donate or get rid of it, give it away. And so the purpose of doing that, when you remove the clothing and you remove the shoes that you haven't been using, it opens space. It opens space for either you to go ahead and purchase or take in some new clothing from some friends or someone else if you do a clothing swap, or perhaps not, and perhaps it just holds space because you don't really have anything in mind to fill that space with, but that space is there now, where before, even if you wanted to put something else in that closet, you really couldn't because it was filled with all this other stuff. Well, as trivial as this sounds, and it's kind of like, maybe to some of you, it's kind of like, well, yeah, I know, that's, we forget to do this with our heart, and we forget to do this with our physical space, but more importantly, we forget to do this with our heart and with our minds. And so sometimes we carry stories in our minds, or we carry connections from previous experiences or relationships in our heart that are actually taking up space that's keeping us from inviting in the new opportunities and the new relationships and the new stories and the new connections that we have been maybe praying for or setting an intention for. And so it becomes really important, in particular those of us who are, we're trying to perhaps reach a new goal. Perhaps some people like to use the word manifest. Some people like to manifest, which is basically sort of believe into action a new home or a new job or a new relationship. And, speaking from personal experience, in particular in the area of relationship, I had to do a certain amount of clearing of my heart which is to say I had to do a certain amount of forgiveness of self for anything that I did, any behaviors or actions in previous relationships that I took part in, and I also had to forgive others for any challenges or growth opportunities that felt hurtful or difficult for me, in order to what I like to call more fully inviting in new relationships and connections. And, just being out in San Diego last week, those of you who do know me on a more personal or professional level know that during the last 5-6 years, I've really moved around a lot. I lived for a period of time on the Big Island of Hawaii. I lived for a period of time in San Diego, Northern California, Miami, and that's a whole other part of my journey and my story, a whole other beautiful part of my journey and my story. But this past week was really powerful because I took the very last things that I had been storing actually in the garage of a friend's house in San Diego, and I removed those things, and I got rid of anything that was no longer feeling supportive or that I didn't feel like I needed anymore, and everything else I'm having shipped back to Philadelphia, where I will probably do another roll through. But I've gotten now to a point where I have everything in one space, anchored in one part, in one city in Philadelphia, versus having things in Miami, things in Hawaii, things in San Diego. And the funny part is, not only have I physically streamlined and grounded and anchored everything in Philadelphia, but I've also done that in emotional aspect as well. So when I was out in San Diego, really for the first time this past week, I felt a sense of detachment, loving detachment, a sense of gratitude for having lived there and having had that experience, but also an appreciation and tremendous gratitude for my time and my space here in Philadelphia now. And so my ability to thrive in my current environment really depends on, I'm finding, and this is my experience, really depends on my ability to lovingly detach from past locations that I've lived in, from past experiences that I've had, past jobs, past relationships, in order for me to fully be able to step into and enjoy what is currently in my environment, the people, the places, and the things. It's really important for me to create space for that, not only in my heart and in my mind and my spirit, but also physically in my environment. So thanks so much for listening today. I love you all, and I'm looking forward to the next time. Enjoy.